County Parks and Recreation, but I'm one of the staff members that serve as kind of the liaison back to the SPLOST committee. I'd like to bring to the microphone so everybody get a sense of what this afternoon or this evening's meeting is about. It gives the public an opportunity to provide comments about the pending 2015 SPLOST initiative.
I can follow it all.
Did it?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't need it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I? Okay, good. Talking about the 2015 SPLOST initiative and giving the citizens an opportunity to provide comments back to the county in regards to what you would like to see and answer any questions you may have regarding the program. Part of that initiative, the board created a citizen committee that was appointees came from the mayors of the city as well as the board of commissioners. And the gentleman that was charged was leading that committee is Mr. DeMont Davis. So I would ask that he will come forward and provide some brief overviews as to what the committee is working on. And then from there, we'll open it up to the public for you all to give us some sense of comments or things you would like to see regarding the SPLOST initiative for 2015. Mr. Davis.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Hey, we're all here because we're interested in what's taking place with our county. What I did as chair of the committee was pretty much begin to take a list that was given by the department heads. We took that list and we basically segregated it into high, medium, and low priority. We left a lot of items on that list. We did not think we were informed enough to remove anything. That's why we left a lot on. Also, too, we left them on because we wanted questions to be raised and to be asked to why was it left off or where should it go. I don't have information. I'm a citizen also, put in charge of this. I know we have two different sides of the aisle. We have what the citizens want and what the citizens perceive that we need in this county. We also have departmental needs. And we've got to begin to look at them both and begin to merge them together to make some type of sense of what we need to go for. So from this point on, we're going to take notes, we're going to take questions and concerns from everyone and begin to use it to go forward to either massage this list but what we want to do in the long run is to make the commissioners aware of what our major concerns are. So, any questions? Who wants to start? Just state your name and we'll go from there.
One of the things we'd like for you to do, if you're not having an opportunity, there's a clipboard here as well. There's a clipboard in the back that we'd like to be able to get your information, your contact information. One of the things the board is tasked the committee with now is to ensure that there's better transparency with the SPLOST program. So there's a website that's been created. It gives you a status update of the 04 and the 09 program. But more importantly, as we continue to massage the list, as Mr. Davis alluded to, the 2015 program, at some point in time, that information will go out to the public for you all to make some decisions on whether or not that's representative of what you're looking for. So again, we have Ms. here up front and Ms. Griffin is back. There's another pad in the back as well for you to sign so that we can get your information and provide you updates about the SPLOST program.
You want us to come up there? You speak first.
You can speak.
Whichever way you want.
As a citizen and I've been in the community, there's two issues that burn. That's the transportation, mass transit. The other issue is that I don't think the county can really afford another standalone building because of the maintenance and the manpower that entails. So, with my background in construction of 35 years and development, I think the Civic Center with a multi-use purpose, along with the convention center, will be a revenue generator and a job creator. And I think that if we take advantage of this cycle of this SPLOST, I think that the county will be able to manufacture this project where it can bring dollars into the county and possibly partner with retail restaurants and hotels, this concept that I have. So outside of that, I'm looking at the numbers. I know they're rough numbers, but I think that the priority should be a revenue generating entity that can get us in the mainstream of the 21st century. So the Civic Center I'm all for, the 8,000 square foot, 8,000 seat arena, I think is too small. I think we need to push that to 15 to 20. And I think that we need to generate, when we look at the land, I think that we need to have parcels where we can partner up with the private sector along with the public. And that's a question I had with the SPLOST. Can the SPLOST partner up with the private sector and moving forward on a major project?
I can tell you this, and the reason the committee moved that too high was we looked upon it as just that. We need to begin to invest in our county. We think this is a good investment vehicle. Now, do we have all the answers or even a majority of them? The answer is the committee does not. We need the expertise from all, from our local government, from possibly investors, builders, contractors. We do need that. I don't know whether they can partner with, with
the private
businesses.
sector.
That did come up, and I believe they can.
But the short answer to your question would be, yes, there can be partnership opportunities, not necessarily with the SPLOST dollars, but once we get to the operational side, and we need to have some way of continuing to sustain that program and that project, yes, partners can come to the table to help the county with those type of initiatives.
My name is James Eason. I'm a retired engineer. And first of all, I'm not looking for a job, and I'm not looking to sell my book. I'm here to talk about what the county needs in the way of streets, local streets, residential streets. I live on a street that's more than 50 years old, and it was built badly. I don't know, probably those who built it are long past. But it was built badly not only in terms of the pavement, but the drainage system and especially the water mains.
There is coordination between the county DOT and the water authority. I can't speak to Ash Street because the majority of that's within city limits. So I don't know how much coordination there are with the city departments. The full depth reclamation is something the county's getting into. We just completed a project down Davidson Parkway off of 138 doing the full depth reclamation, and we've got a handful of other roads identified for that. So we are getting into that technology.
Very good. Our residential situation, our houses are not only getting older, but the streets are getting impassable. And we need to do something about it. Now, I do have one specific project that I want to propose, and that's sidewalks. And that's sidewalks on Morrow Road between Old Dixie Highway and Ash Street. Many years ago, there was a culvert job done in the valley there. And the contractor had built sidewalks. It looks funny now because there's no sidewalks leading up to it or leading away from it. I see people frequently walking in the center of the road. It's a hill both ways. You see people sometimes on bicycles because there's no sidewalk.
Now, I know we do, and we did within the SPLOST create a list of sidewalks and a bunch of different roads and different streets. They can look into that and put that on that list.
And if you would, so that we can make sure we get everybody's comments, the breadth of, there might be some other areas, and we only have an hour.
My name's Lou Heisel. My wife and I moved here to Clayton County in 1968. And we have raised 2 children here. We currently have our daughter and 2 grandchildren and her husband living here in Clayton County. And I've been fairly active. And the thing that bothers me is about a week or 2 ago, I read in the News Daily that $105 million from that SPLOST that I supported back in 2003, more than 10 years ago, has not been spent. Now, if that's true, that's 43% of the money we raised that's been sitting there for at least 5 years since the SPLOST ended. And plus, all these projects have not been done. I want accountability. That's why I'm up here. I think you understand that when you put as much work as you're going to put into this SPLOST, that you need to have some accountability. My opinion is, and I'll be at the next meeting too, and I'll stick 2 minutes next time. But I think you need to do a lot more work on this, Demond. I think that, first of all, transparency of the last two splashes needs to be brought forward. What happened to that money before you stick us with another 200 million?
Thank you.
Wow. That's amazing.
Well, my name is Leonard Jones, and, I got an email about the meeting yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I know that we're supposed to be talking about SPLOST, but, if you're not gonna do the right thing, and I'm talking to the leaders of this county, and Chief Turner, he knows me, and he knows I speak my mind, because I spoke my mind to him. And Economic Development Director, all these people know me. Mr. Martaco might know me, but the deal is this. And I tell these people, I say, hey, look, if you're gonna get up here and you say you're gonna beat this and you're gonna do this, then you do it. Or else I'm gonna be right in your face. And a lot of people from Clayton County hate me. I don't care, because I know what I do and what I argue for is basically for the good of the people of this county.
And that's what we want to
these people need to do.
Okay, I think that's, and one of the things, we have to remember, this committee was put forth and voted upon and approved by our chairpersons.
Right.
In order to effectively go forward and find out what we want to do. So I think they do want to move in the right direction. I think they are moving in the right direction. So I think we've got to jump on board and say, look, we voted them in, we're gonna ride them. We're gonna ride them where they want to go.
Right.
We had next was,
I'm Willie Oswald of Lake City. We've presented our plan to our citizens committee. But you go back, and I've told our several meetings, if Lake City had a SPLOST meeting by ourselves, guarantee it passed 95%. Simply because the list that we turned in, everything that we turned in has been completed. And the county has given us signs, and we've got signs on the 4 main projects. We turned in 4.6 million. That's what we turned in again for this SPLOST. Well, after the committee got through with it, we've been cut $3 million. But we getting punished for doing what we said we was gonna do. Now, all of these other things, and Lou and this, others have mentioned some of the things on the list. It's taking a lot of Lake City's money. But I guarantee you, what we put on our list, we'll do. And what was on the last, we have done. It's there. If you want to go look at it, it's there to look at. But I didn't like us getting cut almost $3 million. I would like for it to stay as it is right now. From this last SPLOST, we start putting this other on there. I've been around a while. I hadn't talked to a person that would vote for it with the list that they've seen that's been produced by the papers. Of course, the Atlanta Journal didn't do us any good because they mentioned all the money that's been setting up in from 04 SPLOST. So thanks to Mr. Matarco and Chairman Turner that they're spending this money now. So, but Lake City don't like to be cut $3 million. So I'd love to keep it where it is right now, and let's Lake City keep what money that we first turned in our list.
I believe you're talking to the allocation portion of it, which.
Pardon?
You're speaking to the allocation portion of it, the funding allocation portion of that list is what you're speaking about. Mr. O'Keefe.
I sent out an email open letter to the commissioners this morning that details what I'm about to speak on. First of all, I'm in favor and I support the 2015 SPLOST. As a Clayton County homeowner, taxpayer, I've got a vested interest in the passage of the SPLOST. Without continuation, of the special purpose local option sales tax, the burden's going to fall back on the property taxpayers directly and indirectly every citizen of Clayton County. First and foremost, as has been mentioned here, just about everybody, is perception. I've often said an individual's perception of reality, whether true or not, is reality to that person. There is a perception in the community that the past and current SPLOSTs have been mismanaged and contain unkept promises. True or not, this needs to be addressed before a new SPLOST is put before the voters. A SPLOST is perceived by the voters as a contract to use the funds raised to fulfill a specific list of capital improvements that will add to the quality of life for all Clayton County citizens. Any funds not expended to fulfill the proposed projects should be returned to taxpayers. I believe that the commissioners need to address this perception in a detailed and transparent manner. I do not believe additional staff is necessary, such as a capital improvements manager at this time. I propose a citizens committee, blue ribbon committee, be created to compile, analyze, and prioritize the unfulfilled SPLOST commitments and report those recommendations to the commission for action. I reviewed the list Mr. Davis, DeMont, and his committee have said. I like everything I said. The Civic Arena Convention Center, $35 million. I don't know if that's a good price or not. It's controversial. But I believe it's a necessity to advance the economic development of this county. I believe the design of this facility should tie into the burgeoning film and television industry in this county. Provisions for production of live audience studio television should be incorporated into its design. This should be done with input from the industry so as to entice their participation in use. Location and design should also include input and participation from Clayton State and Clayton County Schools Performing Arts Departments. Also suggest the solicitation of a major corporate sponsor to help share the operational costs of this facility. Sidewalks. This is near and dear to me. I would like to see spelled out to make a first priority to install sidewalks and crosswalks within a 1.5 mile radius of all county schools, recreation centers, libraries, and parks. This would secure a safe passage for the children living in the vicinity of these facilities. I also suggest we seek grant funding to supplement the costs of these. There is grant funding available, both federal, state, and corporate. The County Administration Center, I think if we can build a new county administration center, we should go ahead, but at the same time, we don't want to build it and keep everything we got going. I think we should consolidate and, leverage on a consolidated facility where everybody's under one roof. It'll be less expensive to operate. The operating costs should be 1/3 of what we're spending now to operate all these different remote facilities. Things like this should be spelled out in the SPLOST proposal. The other one, Clayton County Aviation Helicopter Replacement, $4.125 million. I don't know how much it costs to buy a helicopter. I don't think that'll do it. I don't think that is enough to purchase and technically outfit a new specialized law enforcement aerial platform. This equipment will be used in the future, and new technology is expensive. With the recent development in UAVs and drones, I would like to see us do a forward-looking proposal for the acquisition of cutting-edge technology rather than existing outdated technology. Look forward, not backward. You see it on the news every day. I'm not saying we need global hawks or anything like that, but there's technology developing for small drones, small UAVs that are very flexible for, detailed observation and that sort of thing. This should be to supplement a helicopter. You still need a man up there, or the ability to put a man up there. But I'm saying with all the new technology, you can have somebody sitting in headquarters over there and respond to an emergency call where you've got a suspect that needs to be spotted. That's where we need to go. We need to look ahead, not back. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bobby Cartwright. I'm from Lovejoy. I'm in favor of the SPLOST, obviously. But there's a couple things that everybody in the room maybe not taking into account. But the county in the last 12 months has come a long way. The administration and the whole board of commissioners have taken on a complete new different light. They're working better together. They're working well with the cities. I know Willie's very proud of what happened in Lake City, and I'm extremely proud of what we've done in Lovejoy. And most of the cities that have worked diligently, this was our first chance at SPLOST, so we were tickled to death to get some money to work within our own cities and answer to our constituents, and I was very proud of that, and we've accomplished a lot of projects, and I feel like our little city looks good. But you can't turn the clock all the way back, and yes, we need to figure out where the money was from the 03 SPLOST or the 08 SPLOST and continue to do what we do. But in the last few months, the county's done an extremely good job of trying to make that stuff evident, trying to fix some roads. The county, one of the first joint projects since we got through the SDS and our loss negotiation was to pave Lovejoy Road by the Walmart down there, and it made a humongous difference in our lives there. It's what we need to be doing our infrastructure. And I know that the administrative building, and I can't say a lot about that, but Lovejoy out of its last SPLOST built a new city hall. We're in a very small box and we built a new. But our roads and stuff are suffering terribly. I think you got to realize too that the mayors are talking about agreeing for a 6-year SPLOST, and that's a long time. And it takes a bunch of planning, and it's hard to figure out what we're going to do in 12 months, much less 24 months or 36 months on such a long-range plan. So you've got to be limited in some of your stuff that you do, but you got to be broad-minded in what all can happen. So I don't believe we should say no to the Civic Center, but we've got to do some research and get some partnership for that Civic Center. I know that I was here the other night and Ms. Singleton spoke greatly about infrastructure first. I agree with that. I agree with let's fix some of the roads and stuff, but don't do away with the idea of the Civic Center or anything else that you want or what you think you need, whether it's part of an administrative building to grow this county. But just because you got it on the list, you ain't got to build it tomorrow. We had some sidewalks in 03 that we ain't built yet. I mean, I think we got to take this process out, and I know that we've got to fix some of these issues, but saying no to it would be tremendous downfall to this county. You cannot come away and do away with the 15 SPLOST and don't know that the citizens in this county is going to suffer. The homeowners are going to suffer. The businesses are going to suffer. We've got to get the money and do the right thing with it. Put that money where it's supposed to be. And I think you've got a group of folks up here that's willing to do that. I mean, you look at all that they've done and these directors getting involved, it's pretty open. I mean, there are not a lot of folks here, but it's bad weather. We held a town hall meeting in Lovejoy and about 90 showed up. It was a pretty good meeting, and it was pro and con, but at least they come, and I hope we hold some more. But please keep an open mind in this, and let's figure out how to work with the county and work with these commissioners and these mayors and councils, because we're all involved. It ain't just, 03 was just commissioners, but now it's all of us. There's more, I wish more of my board was here tonight, but there's more of us involved. But please keep an open mind.
I would like to reiterate the support of Civic Center and the marketing. We since I've been listening and doing my due diligence personally on this SPLOST, I could not put my hands on one individual to answer my questions. I have some significant questions. And I do understand that right now we're multitasking. We got the recreation director, we got the CFO, the COO involved in this SPLOST, but I think that we need to really look at, to clean up the old stuff moving forward with the 2015 SPLOST. We need a director of SPLOST management. We need a manager. Somebody that we can pick up the phone and call and say, hey, what's going on with this? Because right now it's convoluted. Everybody's got different information and there's not one solid source. And I think that this was voted down by the board, but I think that it needs to be brought back seriously so we can be clear and transparent on the past SPLOST and moving forward along with marketing in 2015 within the school sector. So somebody's got to be directly involved and in charge as we move forward. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Maurice Starks, retired military. My wife was in Starks here. I'd like to reiterate what the gentleman was saying earlier. I'm an IT guy. I spent so many hours trying to search information in reference to this SPLOST, what it's going to be used for, and like the other gentleman was saying earlier, you find more information in a newspaper, one that I don't read, because I didn't even know it exists. And I don't like to read the rest of the other newspaper because it's opinionated based on the people that do have the newspaper. But we do need to have some type of access to where we can call, we can go on, and the website needs to be a little bit easier for us to find information on the SPLOST. I'm all for the SPLOST because I'm tired of being as a homeowner paying taxes and no one else that uses our area pays the taxes. But it would help if we could be able to get this information, know what's going on. My neighbors had no idea, and we're calling each other, telling them about this activity, what's going on with the SPLOST. But I think the website needs to be updated. We need to have somebody that we can call or email or contact for more information and be kept up to date on what's going on and what's happening with the money. Because we've got so many homes that are being developed on Lundy's Mill Road, because that's where we live around that area, and we don't have anything for these kids and us to do. We're right near to the airport, and most of the airport, a good percentage of it is in our county. I'm a federal officer with OSHA. I know that. I deal with that, and we don't get much out of it in Clayton County. We should be just like Fulton County, just like Gwinnett County. We're in a really good spot. But we need to work together with the other cities. We need to be more informed, and we need to keep each other more informed about what's going on in our county so we can fix our county and get rid of some of that junk on Tara Boulevard. Good Lord. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions? There's another meeting that's going to take place next Tuesday and the following Tuesday. Definitely want you all to spread the word, and we got to get our citizens input. We got to get everyone's input. I think this is a great start. Like I said, I want to commend our commissioner on putting this committee together to begin to proactively see what's necessary in this county. Yes, sir.
Reiterating what he just said, I diligently agree that there needs to be some kind of portal so that the citizens of this county can really, know what's going on, who exactly is in charge, because I've done that too, and
What is the website?
it's just like the
ClaytonSPLOST.com is the website.
It's SPLOST.
ClaytonSPLOST.com.
Okay.
ClaytonSPLOST.com. There's flyers at the back.
It is available. I downloaded this as the package. It was submitted by the committee.
All of our commissioners have been here, and we want to definitely, they want to hear what you all say. We want to thank them for being here to listen to us tonight.
Right.
So again, hopefully we'll see everybody, bring a friend next Tuesday or the following Tuesday out so we can keep this going and give them a good solid list of what we want.
Mr. Davis, also to help us to be able to provide you the needed information, there is a clipboard in the back. Please, if you have not, provide your email address. Information will be provided to you directly as updates come about. So therefore, you're not having to search for a lot of information. As updates come available, then you can get the information. But also, ClaytonSPLOST.com is the website, and we want to ensure that you get as much information as possible in the planning. With that, We hope to see you back at our next public meeting, and if there's nothing else,
There's nothing else. Thank you.
thank you.